studio.
Title: The Music and the Storm. A.R. Rahman's Patriotism questioned after decades of harmony. Good evening. It is a strange and jarring moment in our cultural landscape. A.R. Rahman, the man whose music has been the soundtrack of a nation's pride, its romance, and its soul for over 3 decades, is suddenly having to prove his love for his country. This is a story about more than a celebrity controversy. It is a story about how a single word, plucked from a long and thoughtful conversation, can ignite a digital firestorm. It's about how collective memory is tested, and how a lifetime of artistic contribution, a tapestry woven with notes of unity, can, for some, be unraveled overnight. Our scene opens not in controversy, but in a moment of profound unity. The year is 1997. India is celebrating 50 years of independence. The air is thick with reflection and hope. And a young composer, just 30 years old, creates a gift for the nation. That gift is the song, Maa Tujhe Salaam. Rahman said his idea was to revive a spirit of oneness. To make everyone sing, Vande Mataram, our national song, with contemporary pride. He believed it connected all people, beyond caste or religion, to their motherland. And it worked, spectacularly. The song, in his own distinctive voice, swept across the nation. It played in homes, at celebrations, on television specials. It wasn't imposed, it was adopted. It became a young, vibrant anthem for a new, post-liberalization generation that was looking for a modern voice for its ancient patriotism. This was not an isolated accident. Rahman's entire career has been a bridge. Consider his beginnings. His first film, Roja, in 1992, wove fierce nationalism into a delicate love story, its melodies becoming prayers for a nation in a turbulent year. Bombay, in 1995, was a direct, melodic plea for communal harmony in the aftermath of seismic riots. He didn't just cross from Tamil to Hindi cinema. He built a majestic corridor with a vibrant, Rangila, and the orchestral, Tal, embraced by a massive new audience that didn't care about the language of his heart, only the language of his music. His music, in fact, became our shared emotional memory. The reckless passion of Dil Se. The soulful longing for home in Swades. The raw, broken energy of Rockstar. He translated India for the world, bringing home 2 Oscars and 2 Grammys for Slumdog Millionaire. Even now, in 2024, his genius fuels the retro energy of Shankila and the soaring patriotism of Megan. For nearly 30 years, when Rahman spoke through his music, the country listened, swayed, and celebrated. But in early 2026, the music was abruptly drowned out by a very different kind of noise. The catalyst was a wide-ranging, 1.5-hour interview with the BBC. Rahman spoke about his journey, his faith, and his art. When asked about prejudice in Bollywood, he spoke thoughtfully, not accusingly. He expressed deep gratitude for being embraced by Hindi cinema. But then, with the caution of a man who chooses his words as carefully as his notes, he acknowledged a subtle shift. He said, and I quote, "The past 8 years maybe, because the power shift has happened. It might have been a communal thing also, but not in my face. I hear Chinese whispers." The word, communal, was isolated, amplified, and stripped of its context. It spread across the internet like lightning through dry grass. The composer of Maa Tujhe Salaam, the man who scored 1,000 moments of national pride, was suddenly and fiercely painted as ungrateful, outdated, and even disloyal. The backlash was instant, voluminous, and personal. He was forced into a corner no artist should occupy, to defend his own patriotism. He posted a video, reiterating his love for India. "India is my inspiration, my teacher and my home," he wrote. He pointed to his recent work promoting multiculturalism and even mentioned a presentation before Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yet, the attacks took on a darker tone. His Muslim name, Rahman, was itself targeted, used as a suspicious emblem. He was accused of harboring hate. A prominent politician and actor claimed he refused to work on her film because he privately deemed it propaganda. This missed the point Rahman himself had made in the same interview, that he consciously tries to stay away from divisive projects, believing artists have a sacred power to replace the bad with good through their art. This is the heart of the painful contradiction. Rahman has built a fortress of his art. He has rarely made overt political statements. During times of fierce national debate, he didn't pen op-eds. He quietly created sanctuaries of peace with his synthesizers and strings. His dissent, when it appeared, was subtle, a clever lyrical dig at demonetization in a remix, a social media post of Tamilnadu, God is Tamil, during debates on language imposition. His most famous declaration came on the world's biggest stage, ending his Oscar speech with, God is great, in Tamil, and the timeless line, all my life I have had a choice of hate and love. I chose love. Now, he is being judged not by this lifetime of conscious choices, but by a single, past word in a long-form interview. The nuance of Chinese whispers and not in my face was lost. The complexity of an artist sensing a change in the cultural weather was reduced to a blunt accusation. The reaction from the artistic community revealed the fractures in our discourse. Support came from a powerful, empathetic quarter. Singer Chinmayi Sripada, who had faced severe professional backlash for speaking out against sexual harassment, staunchly defended him. She countered the critic by recounting how she and Rahman had just sung Vande Mataram together to a roaring crowd months prior. She questioned the vicious rush to judgment. But not all stood with him. Some voices called his observation a very dangerous comment. Others, even known critics of the government, disagreed with his perception, arguing the industry was meritocratic. This split itself is telling. It shows the interview tapped into a nerve far beyond Rahman, touching on unspoken anxieties about power, inclusion, and the space for gentle dissent. So, we are left with the deafening silence where his music once played. The storm asks us an uncomfortable question: is a lifetime of music enough? Are decades of weaving the very fabric of our national consciousness, providing the anthems for our joy and the balm for our sorrows, sufficient proof of love and belonging? Or must even our most celebrated artists walk a perpetual tightrope, where one carefully chosen word, one hesitant acknowledgement of a whispered bias, can threaten to undo it all? Does the demand for absolute, unquestioning conformity now override a legacy of transformative contribution? As Rahman himself once wrote for a film, perhaps the heart of this matter is found in those lyrics. Tujh mera deekta hai, yara main kya karu? I see the divine in you, my friend, what can I do? For a nation that has seen its own reflection, its diversity, its passion, its soul, in his music for so long, the question now is a mirror. It is about what we, as a society, choose to see in the man who held up that mirror. Do we see the divine, complex and creative? Or do we see only what the whispers tell us to see? The final note in this saga has not been played. It hangs in the air, unresolved. It is a note that tests the listener more than the composer. It asks whether we, as a people, can still hear the symphony over the noise, or if the noise has become the only thing we are trained to understand.
Subscribe, watch, like, comment, and share Newscraft Studio for more awesome content.